beautiful people, and welcome to another episode of Yaya Style N Chats, where we talk about real talk, real style, and real connections. And I'm here today with my boo, my bae. What's up, Miss Bobbi?
Howdy! I'm
What's
so
up?
excited. Hey,
Hey, I'm so happy to have you. You should tell the people who you are, what you do.
I'm excited to be here. I mean, we talked about this for forever, so I'm glad that it's finally happening.
Yes, me too.
I'm Bobby Lee, a child of God. I'm a founder of the Absolutely Raggedy Network. I'm a fitness enthusiast, a mental health advocate, a creator, a bartender. And I've spent like the last 3 to 5 years of my life like really getting to know myself, my triggers, my toxic traits, my bad habits. So I've started this mission to try to share as much of my journey as possible so that I can encourage other people along their journeys and hopefully help some people not do the same stupid shit that I did. So,
You hear me? I still people
period.
don't like listening though. It's like when you try to tell people like I did that stupid shit and you should not do that stupid shit, they still go and do that stupid ass
They
shit.
still go and do it. And I can't be too mad because I also went and did that stupid shit when people told me not to do that stupid shit. So I'm
You
just
was
like,
like I was in that same
circle is
boat. I
life.
understand.
Yeah, but it's like, please listen. I didn't listen, but please listen, because
Please
I
listen.
could save you from some heartache. I could save you from some trauma. Like, don't traumatize yourself, because I did
Baby,
a lot of
people
traumatizing myself, putting myself in the
whoo.
wrong spaces, girl.
You know what? So first of all, Bobby is a Renaissance woman. You heard all the things that she is into,
Uh-huh.
bartending, fitness, accountability. We're gonna talk about that later. All the good things. So shout out to you because
Thank
I
you.
actually had a conversation with somebody the other day, and I was like, there's like, how do you get all these things done? I was like, I got the same amount of hours in a day as Rihanna. Like,
Period.
that's that's just how I feel about life. They of course it was like, well, I ain't got the same money and assistance, neither do I, but I got the same amount of days, same amount of hours. And
And you
so
gotta
with that
figure
being
it out.
said, you gotta figure it out. I gotta use all my hours in the day that I have. And so I'm gonna do that.
Exactly. And
But
sometimes, honestly, that may look like it may look like getting one thing done, but you did it. Like, it's
no,
not
talk
always
about
gonna
it.
be perfect.
Talk about it. It's be days where I have like a whole to-do list. I'm gonna do XYZ. Baby, the only thing I got done on the list was the one thing I never wanted to do anyway.
Or the
So
easiest thing to get done, like took this
yeah,
thing to the mailbox.
that's
Ma'am,
that be it. Oh, I washed the dishes. That's all I did today was wash the
basic
dishes.
stuff.
Definitely very basic. But let's get into like what you do in your spare time. So I feel like as the millennial box that we have been put in,
Yeah.
um, most millennials are actually finding out that we enjoy doing a lot of other things than working and going home. So like, what are some things that you're into right now?
So right now as I said, I've been kind of finding myself, finding out what I'm interested in by doing a lot of different things. So I've started doing photography. I got a camera like a long time ago. I think it was like when the pandemic started. It was because everything was on sale.
Mm-hmm.
So I got this
That's how I
camera
got mine
bundle.
too.
Okay. I got this camera bundle and I was like, oh, I'm gonna learn photography. And of course, I got ADHD, so I've picked up 1900 other habits since then and have put the camera down. But now that I'm in this space where I'm really revamping my podcast, and as you know, because you're a Renaissance woman as well, when you're doing a podcast or doing any type of content creating, you're doing 97 other jobs. So
Literally.
photography, yeah, literally. So I'm like, I'm interested in photography. So I picked up the camera. I actually went out with my homie the other day, and we went around the city, took some pictures. It was cold. So I'm like, okay, I'm really getting into that. And then the other thing that I feel like, I don't know if this is a hobby, but I've really been enjoying like connecting with people. Like I've never
Mm.
been a person. I've talked about this. I'm not going to get too much because we have topics to talk about. But I've talked about like manifesting, and I've like been manifesting my tribe for like years and years and years. And so now that I'm in this space, I've been like, you know what? I'm really going to get out and start talking to you. So like getting out there, connecting with people, been like, hey, I don't know you, but follow me on Instagram. I like your vibe. Like that's been a
Yeah.
hobby of mine. I've been having fun with that. What
You better
about
than
you?
me. I don't like people that much, Meeting new people actually, I found this out in like my older age. I feel like once I hit like mid 20s to like right smack dab on 30, I realized that I am more of an introvert than an extrovert. But when people meet me, I'm outside, and so I'm extroverted because I'm out. but my real
Mm-hmm.
personality is kind of like, don't talk to me, you know? So,
Yep. Yep. Or
so
I don't
people
know if
always,
it's a introverted thing or if I have a social meter, but I'll be like, all right, bye.
yeah, I learned the word ambivert. And
Ooh,
so I definitely fit in that category. So like an ambivert is a person that's kind of like equally extrovert and equally introvert. I
yeah.
fit that 100% because you
That's
have to catch me on a day. You know, I'm wishy washy.
yes.
You gotta catch me on a day. Which day is it? It's Saturday. I'm outside. I'm gonna be lit. I'm gonna be turned up. Yeah, to make friends in the bathroom. Follow me on Instagram. All of those things.
Period. Freeze in the bathroom is too real.
Baby, I've literally added girls in the bathroom on my Facebook page from college. Watch their kids grow up, and they never seen these girls a day in my life again.
Period. I have so many like Facebook distant friends, and I don't.
Hmm.
But if I feel like if I ever be like, hey, let's get together, it'll be a vibe.
It'll be cool. It'll be a vibe. Like, hey, are you at this club? I'm here too. Like, meet you back in the bathroom. Like, it's like
Screaming.
that. But my other hobbies obviously is my podcast. I love this hobby. Every time I try to be like, I'm not doing it anymore, I just get reeled back in. Like, girl, get your ass on that microphone. That's what you love doing. Like that's my big number one hobby.
And you're
And
very
then
good at it. It's like very
thank
natural.
you.
I'm
I
like,
appreciate
okay.
that because I think I've had imposter syndrome, and you know you shouldn't compare yourself to other folks, but I feel like my imposter syndrome comes out of seeing how other people's podcasts or just content creation styles will soar.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I'm feeling like, you know, I went to school for this. I got an expensive ass degree
Yeah.
for this, and I'm having a hard time like catching fire is sometimes how I feel. So sometimes every blue moon when I'll be like, fuck that podcast, and then I come back and I'll be like, I'm just playing. Uh so
Because I really love you. I'm sorry, you my baby.
I just playing. Come back. I was just kidding. I ain't gonna do it.
I do
Um
feel that.
so that's that. More recently though, I've really got into fashion and like loving that type of
You're
content
killing it.
creation style. I really appreciate that. I did not realize how much I love clothes until I started
Same.
like realizing how much I love clothes.
Can I ask you, do
Hmm.
you think that because I've been watching you obviously for some years and you've been getting your body right and tight, do you think that because your body is, you
Where it's supposed
know,
to be. The
exactly
body
being
tea, because
damaged?
we're gonna talk about yours too. I don't know if that's it or if it's because I've just become more comfortable with who I am as a person, period.
Period.
I cared a lot about what guys thought. I cared a lot about how I was perceived.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there was a very negative connotation around me as a person. People would like people had this thought about me that was just inaccurate. Like, oh, she is so mean. She had an attitude. She always snapping on people, and I'm like, who are they talking? They cannot possibly be talking about me because that's not true.
Because I never
Like,
touched
it's just
nobody.
right, it's not true at all, but I think it's because the introverted side is what the people truly were meeting in that
Mm-hmm.
space. And so they just kind of was like, that's how she is. And it's like, that's actually not how I am. I'm actually sweet as pie. I'm really nice. I might cuss you out, but I'm gonna feed you all in the same day.
I'm
You
gonna
know what
make
I'm
sure
saying?
you're
Like this,
nourished,
I'm gonna be good. So that
balanced.
could definitely be it. I did gain weight, but not like I won't make it seem like I was just like, you know, I had gained so much weight. I gained more
Mm-hmm.
weight than I was comfortable with. And I started going to the gym. I started hitting the gym, and that was like right before the pandemic. And I had got really, really small, like way too small. And I was like looking back at pictures, and I was like, why didn't nobody tell me I was that damn small?
You,
Like,
you
but then
shrinking away.
I was shrinking away, but they also didn't tell me I had gained weight, and I cussed them out for that too. So it was just kind of like a lot of encompassing things. So that could
Mm-hmm.
definitely be a reason on why I feel like I just got way more comfortable. Also, money plays a factor. I got a little bit more coin than I did back
That
then, so
part.
I could buy
Oh,
the
that
clothes I
part.
want to buy. So
That
yeah,
part.
but you let's really talk. And I don't know if you want to talk about this, so you could definitely be like, "Girl, shut the fuck up." Um,
Yeah.
let's talk about the body transformation because I was like, and I mean, like you said, we've been following each other for a while, so it's not like we don't know each other. We haven't seen
Mm-hmm.
the transformation on both sides. But ma'am, you been acting a damn fool, okay?
I'm just getting started. Like
Period.
I'm on my next. Like I don't even know who they is. I just really like saying that.
Everybody, whoever neck
Okay.
want to be stepped on.
Period. But I'm just ah It's so crazy because I tell people this all the time. 2, 3 years ago, before I lost this weight, I was not this person. When
Mhm.
I started boxing, that really like changed my life. That changed everything about me. That changed my mindset. That changed my level of discipline. Because I had literally no. I told you I had ADHD. I didn't find out until I was 33. So
Oh wow.
yeah, so you go through life and like your brain is working against you because you don't know, like you're trying to work like the normal people tell you to work, and you like my brain is not like that, but you don't know.
Mhm.
So when I lost that weight and I started really working on my mental health, once I found out about the ADHD, that literally changed my life. And then now that I'm still not in the body that I want, but now that I'm much closer, I be putting on clothes. I'm like, wait a minute, now
Body
like,
tea.
hold on. So now I'm like, now I'm having fun putting on clothes. I remember I used to get anxiety. I used to, and before I got big, what's crazy is before I got big, I had a body. So the body that girls are buying, I had that body
Mhm.
before I got big, and I thought I was fat.
Mm.
So every time I went to go buy clothes, I got anxiety going to try on jeans and stuff. It was, and you remember when jeans were not made for girls with booties? They just were
Mm-mm.
not made for us. They were.
I remember when I went to Miami and I went shopping in Miami. And I remember being like, oh my God, like I ain't never been no super thick girl. Like this little weight I got now, baby, I'd be like, what? Who? Me? I'm thick. Don't pay no attention to me.
Cheeks. I got.
But I never was a super thick girl, but I always had a little ass.
Hmm.
And shopping in Miami was the first time that I found jeans that had like a smaller waist, but that fit my butt. Because
Hmm.
typically I was buying in bigger sizes because the jeans wouldn't go past my thighs and my butt. And yeah, that was the first time I realized, like, girl, it's you your anxiety around shopping. Because I have shopper's anxiety. To this day, I don't like going to the store. I buy everything online. So people be like, where you be shopping at? Amazon.
Amazon.
Amazon, Shein, Fashion Nova. If it's online, I'm gonna purchase it. I don't like going into the store. I still have anxiety about it.
Still,
So,
I've gotten a
girl,
little bit better.
I don't even go grocery shopping. My groceries, for the most part, get delivered. If I go grocery shopping, I go to a store I already know so that I know
Yeah.
exactly where everything is
I was gonna say
because
that
my
is kind of
anxiety.
anxiety inducing. Yeah. Because
Yeah.
I feel like it's
So
just so many people. It's too much going on in the grocery store. I feel that.
you can never
I,
find nobody to help you. Like I'm in the spaghetti sauce aisle and I don't see the certain. I feel like as soon as I can't find somebody to help me, I'll be ready to go. Now I left everything that I need for dinner because I needed assistance and it wasn't nobody
I
there.
need. Where are you? Out here
Where are you?
doing something else, not doing your
Setting your
job.
job.
Exactly. Whole time they stacking boxes, but when y'all trying
They
to
doing their
leave,
job.
they
Their
really
job
are.
wasn't customer service that day. God damn. But yeah, I definitely understand the anxiety part about shopping and clothes buying. Do you think that though, because that was a while ago, like I said before, like shopping for clothes and certain body types, that was not a thing. But also I feel like the early 2000s, late mid 2000s, it was a lot of body shaming. Like you had to be a certain size. And so did that aid into like, you know what I mean, like your mental?
I. It's so crazy because it's so crazy because I remember. Okay, so we talk about booties now, how everybody likes, want to have a big butt. But I remember
Mhm.
feeling shame behind having a big butt. Like I remember even my dad made this comment one day. I was walking, and I'll have my grandmother's walk. And if you if you ever see me, or if you had ever seen me before, I like used to change my walk if people were watching me because my dad made this
Mhm.
comment. But I was walking like I walk, and he was like, "You're just trying to make your booty shake." I was a teenager. Like I'm just
Like,
walking.
I got
I'm
a
just walking.
natural switch. It's not what it is. And
And so
that generational difference too. Like they say stuff and you be like, you shouldn't have said that shit to
why would
me.
you say
But
that? And
like,
and I walk just like my grandmother, literally just like her.
mhm,
Everybody, so it's just like you trying to play in my face, sir. But so I had
mhm.
shame around having a body, and again back then it was not in to have a butt. Kim Kardashian had not blown the scene up,
Yeah.
and everybody went to go do that. No, this was not like a thing. So I definitely think it did play a not even think. I know for a fact it played a role with my mental health.
Mhm.
Especially because I went. The reason that I thought I was fat is because I went to school with mostly white girls. So it was like, and again, it's white girls thick now. Like they weren't thick
Mm-hmm.
like that back then. Everybody was small. So it was like
Yeah.
everybody was small. I was small too, but I was on the thicker side. I was like a size 7, but
Right.
I was a size 7 in middle school. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I had butt, I had thighs, I had breasts, and I was in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else was small and flat chested and thin. And that's not to come at them. That's how children's bodies are supposed to
Right.
be. I was advanced. So I always had some type of body dysmorphia where I always felt bigger than I was. So when I started, what's crazy is when I started gaining weight, I didn't realize I was gaining weight because I already thought I was fat.
Right. So you like, oh, okay.
Period. Until I got really big. I think what happened was my arms started to get big and I saw a picture of me and my boobs were big and my arms were big and I was like, dang, I'm
Yeah.
getting big. Like,
I definitely understand. And I think sometimes it takes like the self reflection, right? Like looking at yourself to just kind of be like, okay, you know what? I don't like this. I'm going to change it. And however that looks,
period.
however that change looks for you is just what it is. But shout out to you though, because you could have just been like, fuck it. I'm gonna be what I am. But you decided to take a healthy, and not that being a bigger person is not healthy, because I don't want them eating my ass up, child. But
We don't
I've
talk about
watched
it, but
you, right? I've watched you and your process. And so I understand that your process was about health and your process was about making sure I feel like I'm the best part of me. And so that's dope,
absolutely. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I appreciate
baby,
it.
because
And I
it
mean,
get
and
hard.
you as well. Like, just because you didn't lose a whole bunch of weight, you was on your fitness journey as well. So kudos
Yeah.
to you.
I fell off, baby. I said I do and was like, fuck it. Fuck the
I
gym.
got my man.
Baby.
What you gonna eat?
And now I'm doing a mini stepper and drinking 100
I was
ounces
gonna
of
say, yeah, don't do that. Don't go too far down that road.
it is enough because I was like, what's that? Okay, hold on. Let me reel it back in
My pants
because
getting a little tight. I can't wait a minute now.
baby. But just like you, shaped like my grandmother, Lord rest her soul, I'm shaped just like that woman. And it took me a long time to get this shape. And I always think about like the younger girls now. Like if
Hmm.
I would have gotten surgery when these young girls are getting surgery now, I would look crazy as hell right now because I did not come into my grown woman weight. Most people come into their grown woman after they have babies.
You have
I
to
didn't get
wait.
that
Yeah.
grown woman weight after I had my baby. I didn't get grown woman weight until I was like 30 years old. Hell, at that time, he was like 10. And I'm just
Mm.
now starting to get weight. So it's like, I'm glad I was patient with myself and that I fell in love with myself so that I
Yes,
could appreciate everything else that came with that. Because that should get messy
it does. And
real
I'm
quick.
not nobody with surgery, but you got to be careful, like doing stuff like that. I
Yeah. That's how I
mean,
just know I would look crazy. Like I was shaped like Coil Ray. Could you picture me have gotten a surgery and then gaining the weight that I got now? I literally was
no,
maybe they
you
used
would
to
have to
call
get
me
another surgery to
to remove
like,
the shit to just
yeah.
look normal. I my friends when I was younger, I was called La Cienega. I was called
Oh
Pepper
my
Ann.
God.
Baby, I was La Cienega Boulevard because I had big ass feet. I always had big feet. I got big feet now. It ain't nothing I can do about it. They call me La Cienega. They call me Pepper Ann.
That's not
It's
my
one
friend
way.
loves pepper here.
Maybe I love Pepper Ann too because I was shaped like her ass. And so that's just what it was. Um, and when I was growing up, I was teased for so many dumb shit, so much dumb shit. I feel like it definitely spilled over into my adult life. And then now I'm kind of like, fuck y'all.
Fuck y'all.
Um, legit.
Period.
So that's all I get. But with that, so we did talk a lot about like, okay, so we clearly our hobbies are working on us because
Period. Girl.
but also with that,
Girl.
like working on yourself comes with like holding yourself accountable, which can be very fucking difficult.
It is
Um,
hard. It's hard.
but one of the things you talked about in the beginning was like, holding yourself accountable, understanding that you went through a lot of shit and telling your people like, hey, you ain't really gotta go through that if you don't want to. Talk about how you're holding not just yourself accountable, but like the people around you accountable.
So like for me, one thing that I do, and I've done this once I started my like, because you're always on your journey, right? But once I started being
Mm-hmm.
intentional on my journey, one thing that I always do is I always reflect in every situation. So even in
Mm.
situations where I think I'm absolutely right, I always reflect. And I have what I've done is I've surrounded myself with people, and I think this is like super important. I've surrounded myself with people who will tell me the truth and not yes
Mhm.
men. So I
Woo,
have, so
that's
I have
important.
it's important. And I don't mess with yes men people because I'm not a yes man person. I'm not gonna tell you what you want to hear. I'm gonna tell you what you need to hear, and I expect the same from you because I don't want to be out here looking crazy and thinking that I'm right loud and wrong and my friends is out here backing me up and I sound stupid. No. Correct me. If you love
Yeah.
me, correct me. You're out here acting up,
Mhm.
girl. Get your head out your ass. So I've surrounded myself with people who will do that. So sometimes when I'm reflecting with myself, sometimes I can give myself and I'm like, no, I wasn't tripping. I was tripping. Okay, I owe somebody an
Mhm.
apology, or I need to do this, or I need to do that, or I'm not doing nothing because I was right. But sometimes I'm
Mhm.
like, let me hit up this friend, let me hit up my cousin, let me ask my mom because those are the three main people that I talk to. What do y'all think about this situation? This is what happened, and when I tell a story, I'm gonna tell everything. I'm gonna say
The
what I
whole
did,
story.
the whole thing. I'm not gonna try to make myself
Mhm.
look good. I'm gonna be like, I did say this, I did call that man to be. I, like I'm gonna be real. So they know, like, okay, I wasn't out here acting like an angel because I'm not an angel. I'm not perfect. Um,
Mhm.
so that's kind of what I do, and the reason I kind of like wanted to talk about this is because I saw this clip of Alexa Sky. Is that her name?
Okay. Mhm.
I'm gonna say that's her name. And she was the first clip was of her and her friend that were doing a live, and her friend was this gay dude, and he was talking about Yandy and Mendici.
So Mendeecees has been cheating on Yandy since they got on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. And I know a couple of women that he was looking at when I was over at T High's house about a year ago. Let me tell you something. Yandy ain't exciting him no more. Let me tell you something. Mendeecees is cheating on Yandy, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Are you getting this? Are you following me? The AA show is reporting live, loud, and proud, honey. And I got calls from people on the show. I've gotten calls from people in the street. Yandy Mendeecees is cheating on you. Alexis don't know about it, but guess what? I told her about it. So guess what, honey? You need to keep your man on lockdown, honey, because ever since he moved up out of that house, honey, he been fucking everything else. Y'all wanda. Next case.
So if you watch the video, she's in the background and she's like, if they were talking about something else, and so she's laughing, but then when he's talking, she's like, all right, next topic, or she says next, but she still had a smile on her face, but he's still going, and she says next again. But in my mind, because I've been in situations before where I've been uncomfortable with what somebody was saying, but
Mhm.
I didn't know how to navigate stopping it for real.
Mhm.
Without, because me, I'm always smiling, always laughing. So I always try to make shit a joke, right? I always try to be
Yeah.
like, you better stop saying that, quit playing,
Yeah.
but I'm smiling because I'll go from 0 to 100. So
Yeah.
because of that, I've always, been used to muting myself. So when I was watching this video, I kind of felt like that's kind of the mode she was in because it was like she was smiling, but it was like she wanted him to stop saying that.
It
So
was
she made another
that uncomfortable laugh, that
situation.
uncomfortable smile. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like, like, go
Okay,
ahead,
chill.
keep moving. Yeah.
Chill, yeah. And so she made another video where she basically apologized, and she was saying, I don't know exactly what she said. I did watch the video, but she did apologize, and she was saying like the only thing I can do is apologize. Now she didn't feel right about how the video went, and in the comments
Mhm.
people were like, "Well, no, you should have done this, that, and the other thing," and I'm just like. And they're shouting accountability, accountability, and I'm like, what the fuck do y'all think accountability looks like? Like,
Because people think that accountability is always in that moment, right? So, like you just said earlier, like sometimes you have to reflect back and be like, hold on, that wasn't right. Let me go back and apologize, or let me go back and clarify what the fuck I meant, because that's not how I meant to make you feel, or whatever's going on. That's what she did. She took accountability when she made the second video. People are
exactly.
crazy.
People
Also,
are crazy,
social
and I
media is
feel like we're always yelling what we want people to do, and I feel like we don't know what that looks like in real time. When someone has to take
Mhm.
accountability, it's because they did not act appropriately initially.
Right.
Or I don't want to say that's the only reason, but when we're talking about it in these contexts, it's because they didn't do something right initially. So now they have to go back and say, okay, I messed up. I have to take responsibility for this thing. You're not taking accountability when you've done the right thing all the time. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's just like it's like y'all want people, and then y'all be like, well, why is it so hard to apologize? This is why.
I was gonna
because
say because when you apologize, people always want to tell you. I'm gonna equate it to the Black Lives Matters protests.
oh,
When we apologize, people be like, "Nope, not like that. You need to say sorry, but not like that." That's how they did the Black Lives Matter protests. Like, y'all need to protest. Oop, not like that. Oop, don't block off Lakeshore Drive. Oop, not in front of the mayor house. Oop, da da da. And I feel like that's how the people do it when it comes to accountability. Like, oh no, don't apologize like that. You just apologize in the moment. You waited too long to apologize. They don't
you
have to
don't
forgive
sound
you
sad
apology
enough. You
just
didn't use the
because.
right words. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, baby, accountability is how I decide to take accountability. I apologized. So now you're gonna choose my words for me too?
Because everybody doesn't speak the same, and that's something I had to learn. Like, because I'll say something a certain way, and then I'll listen to other people, and I'm like, I wouldn't have phrased it that way just because I'm an overthinker. But this person might
Mm-hmm.
not even be thinking like that, and people,
Mm-hmm.
and then sometimes people are like, oh, you don't sound now. And I can understand if it's like a situation where somebody is always doing something, always fake taking accountability, and then always doing, the same things over and over again. That's one thing. But it's
Mm-hmm.
just like, it's hard for people to, because first of all, it's already, I feel like personally, it's already against your natural body, like to want to admit that you're wrong. Like I think human nature, it just goes against human nature. Like when you have to admit that you're wrong, you automatically be like, ooh, you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
initially before you've grown and healed and stuff. And so when
Mm-hmm.
you overcome that and you finally be like, okay, you know what, I messed up, and then people still jump down your throat, you're like, okay, I'm not doing that again.
You be like, this why the fuck I don't be saying shit. That's how it really
Period.
end up turning because I am the queen of that. So one thing about me is that I'll apologize. I don't really give a fuck. I be like, oh my bad. I ain't know. I didn't mean to make you
Mhm.
feel like that. That was, and one of my biggest things is one of my friends told me that because I had said something, just like you said, I had said something to her via text message, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna call her tomorrow. I think this might be taken out of context.
Mhm.
When I called her, I said, hey, I hope I didn't make you feel any type of way. That's not how I meant this. This is what I meant. Now, she knew me well enough to say, friend, I didn't take it that way at all. And I know
Mhm.
you never mean to hurt me.
Right.
However, I appreciate you coming back. That was enough for me. Like, I took accountability, like, okay, that was kind of harsh. You could have said that a little differently. Like, you have to understand that apologize are already, like you said, it's already a difficult thing. But then you're not gonna make me feel easy for telling you, like, damn, I fucked up, my bad, I'm wrong. And you're gonna be like, but you should have said it yesterday. Okay, you know what, bitch, fuck you. How about
Right.
that?
Because
And
it
I
took me a
said that
moment to
yesterday too.
process. Okay, now I'm
Like,
taking my apology
yeah,
back. I wasn't
literally,
wrong for
give it
that
back.
shit.
Hang up on you, not in the mood. Like, that's just like how it be. So
Right.
definitely understand that. Yeah, so I did hear about the whole Mendici thing, and I just thought the shit was
Yes.
crazy. I was like, even yes, she then who are you? But I didn't know what was going on. All I saw was the Mendici like addressing the cheating allegation. Like, I ain't
Oh,
cheating.
he
Like, where the
addressed
hell is it
it?
come from? Yeah, so I saw that. I didn't even know where it came from. I was like, what allegation? Who said Mendicis was cheating?
Oh.
I was like, what's happening? And I'm so far removed from like gossip per se. I didn't know what the hell was going on. I was like, oh, where that new shoe dropping? Like, I didn't know what was happening.
And what's crazy is that you said that is I actually just had to, I've been following all of these, what is the name of that site? Not Media Takeout, the Shade Room. I've been
Oh, baby,
following
I've been
all
on
of these
follow them.
sites on Instagram. So I just unfollowed them today because I'm like, why am I following all of this toxic? Also, I really don't care about Mendices and Yandy. Like I used to watch Love and Hip Hop. I used to like really love
Yeah.
them, and I wish them well. There's nothing against them. I don't know those people. I don't care about their business for real.
They are above my taste bracket. And also, Shade Room to me is some bullshit because the way accountability. The way that I pride myself on this expensive ass Columbia journalism, radio broadcasting fucking degree, I would never act with such recklessness in reporting something and then not apologize for what I reported or, I don't know, publish a retraction. Like they be wrong and loud as hell.
Yes,
They
they do.
literally reported that Lauren London was pregnant the whole time she was acting in a movie. Never did nothing else with it. Didn't retract it, didn't do shit. Just kept on moving like it wasn't nothing. Meanwhile, she's still grieving from Nipsey, and y'all out here acting like a goddamn
Just
fool.
doing the most. No respect. Like they don't think they have to respect people's boundaries. They don't have to.
Yeah,
It's so weird. But
I
did you
can't.
know that the Shade Room was owned by
TD
TD
Jakes and them.
Jakes? Yeah.
Hmm.
I just
I
found
said,
that
let
I
me
was
get the
like,
hell.
I don't even
That's
understand. I
yeah.
don't
I
even
don't understand how we goes
understand.
together. I'm like, this is what y'all. This is what you decided to put your. Good day,
Because
sir.
this is not of God. This is not
This
of
is
the Lord.
not of God.
It is not. And I hate to be that person, but this is not of the Lord. And I don't,
I
because it's
I can't deal
so
with that.
ratchet. It's so ratchet. It's so nasty. And like,
It really is. I follow like Hot 97. Um the Hot 97 is like a radio station page. I follow Baller Alert. Um and that's only to a certain extent. I
mhm.
follow those 'cause I feel like they at least do a little bit of research. And then they be like, oh no, it's coming. Like they report what's being reported, and then they be like, okay, actually the reports are coming out saying XYZ. They at
So it's
least try
not
to
just
clean.
foolishness.
I be like, what the hell?
Maybe I should, because I do want to keep, what I'm trying to do is be more culturally in tune. And I
Hmm.
actually want to get more politically in tune as well. Because when 2020 hit, I checked out of the world. I was like, bye. I'm out of here. I'm inside my head, inside my body. I don't know what's going on.
I'm fake still checked out. I don't know what's happening. I'm like, why is Trump able to run and this nigga
I
is
don't even
on
know what's going on. So I'm like,
fucking
I have to
trial?
get, agree. I have to get back in the loop to an extent because I feel like I also have to protect my mental health because that's
Yeah.
that's also a lot of that's none of my business. A lot of it's none of my business. What I'm
That
gonna
part.
do?
It's not none of my business. I don't really care. I got my own shit to be worried about. I got my own things to be accountable for, literally. I
Literally.
just ain't got time. So it's just kind of like whatever. So
I agree.
yeah. I do think though, like going back to accountability a little bit, what would you tell like younger you when it comes to accountability? Like what advice would you give yourself?
Um, I think that I would tell myself because I had like a real hard time. I just got to the point of like where you're saying like you don't mind saying sorry, you'll just say sorry. I just got to that
Mhm.
point, a couple years ago, right? Where it's like, hey, everybody messes up. I messed up. My bad.
Yeah.
But I used to take making mistakes so hard. So I think I
Mhm.
would go back and just tell myself that you are not meant to be perfect. You'll never be
Yeah.
perfect. So as soon as you erase that out of your head, don't be afraid to look stupid. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Whatever you do, commit to it 100%. But if you fuck up, say you fucked up and
Yeah.
move on from it and try to be better from it. I would just tell myself to get that in my head a lot sooner, like 15 years sooner.
She
Like a
said,
long time ago.
actually, if I could
Okay.
have saved myself a couple bullshit things, I would have did that.
Man, if I could go back with this
Man,
mindset,
if I could go, I don't know if I would want to go back even with this mindset, because then I felt like I would be too ahead of my peers
mm,
to understand and grow as a
maybe.
person. I feel like I needed to. This is so crazy, and it ain't got nothing to do with nothing. But I feel like if I had this mindset that long ago, I wouldn't have met my husband.
I feel.
But this mindset, the mindset that I met him in was a perfect mindset for me to I was more open. I was okay, I can listen. Okay. Just sit down, huh? Okay.
A little bit, a little bit. I hear you. All right.
You say be ready. Okay. I feel like if I would have met him at a different time and somebody was like, okay, but you're not listening. First of all, I ain't got to fucking listen. Like it was a whole
That's
situation.
facts. That's facts.
So I don't know if I would have.
That does play into a theory that I have that, like, well, it's not even a theory that I have. Like, I'm just so profound. But, um, but I just feel like, I mean, we say that all of the time. Like, if I could go back, if I could go back, but I make this joke all the time that God knew not to let me know that I was this fine too young. Because I would have, one, I'd have been out here reckless. You hear me? I would have
Wow.
been out, I would have been a menace in these streets, honey. Soul snatching left and right. Left and, I wasn't responsible. So God said no.
He did.
Uh, wait until you got some sense. Wait until you got a good head on your
Mm-hmm.
shoulders. Because now men are in my face all the time, and I'm just like, no, 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 no.
I'm like, I'm fine. I'm okay. I say that a lot too. I say God knew not to make me not good. Knew not to give me this body, and He knew to give me that baby at that time. I was moving too fast. I had too much going on in my life. He was like, let me slow her ass down, cause if I
Right.
don't, she gonna be moving. I probably still would have been moving too fast. Like, where she at? I don't know. She moved to London. Then she said she was moving to this. Then she said I was going too much, like way too much. So
Slow down
definitely
for fresh.
understand that. I don't know if I would. So I said I wouldn't go. I don't want this mindset for that age, but I would have told younger me, like you said, it's okay to be wrong. It is okay to be wrong. I am the oldest daughter. I act like the oldest daughter. I'm
Mm,
bossy. Everything has to be organized. What they say, the oldest daughter. Who told the oldest daughter she was the family manager? I am the family manager.
because
But the
that's what it
problem is,
is.
I was the family manager also at 15. And
Mm-hmm.
so I wish I could have told her, like, baby, you don't even have to do all this. Like right now, it's not your responsibility.
Be
It's not
15.
on you. Yeah, be 15. Be 15. And so I feel like that's what I would tell her. Like, be accountable for cheerleading because you're good at that. Be accountable for track. You're good at that. Leave that little bald head ass little boy alone.
Oh, I don't even want to. I don't even want to. I don't even
And,
want
like, and be 15. Like, your mama is your mama. Yes, she needs your assistance because she was a single mama, but
mm,
she don't need you to be a second mama.
you
Like,
don't
she
have
got
to.
that part. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? So I definitely would have just did that part.
that's a good. I feel like that's a good reflection, though. And then it's always nice to have those things going forward because we know, even though we don't know everything, we know, okay, I know to be quiet. I know to listen. I know if I make a mistake, it's
Mm-hmm.
okay. It's not the end of the world. I know how to take accountability. I know when it's going forward. So I don't know. I feel like that makes us more rounded, and I
It
don't
helps
know.
us in the workspace. Like I have younger friends based off of my work life or whatever, and
Hmm.
it's now because I can see certain things that they can. I'd be like, okay, wait, you're acting out of emotion. You are not acting logically. I think you should take a step back. Like, I can be that person that I feel like people were not for me. People just let me dig a hole.
Yeah, and I mean sometimes I don't want to say that I had nobody, but everybody doesn't know everything. So I
Mm-hmm.
only had a certain people. I didn't have enough people surrounding me to be in my ear about certain things and to I always tell my parents that my dad always makes this comment, and this is kind of maybe like a little off, but he always used to make this comment a lot, like, why I don't have kids like Venus and Serena Williams, or stuff like that. And it would be like, well, you weren't right there, dad, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have somebody who was on my ass like Richard was on their ass. If I wanted to
Mm-hmm.
quit something, y'all let me quit. So it was like
Yeah.
I never got taught accountability either. That's another part. A lot of people don't get taught really. You get taught, to respect your parents and stuff like that. But when it comes to like taking, our parents don't really teach us that. They just kind of
Yeah.
let you do what you want to do sometimes. And I'm not. This is not me blaming my parents because they were
No, 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 no.
wonderful.
I definitely understand that. But it's just like I think it goes to generation after generation after generation, right? Because like their parents didn't have time to tell them about accountability. I need you to listen to me because this and this could happen if you
Which time is
fucking
about?
don't. And so like that's what that is. And so when it came to us, our parents still had that mindset. So they were raising us for a past world instead of for the current world that we were in.
Exactly.
And for us, we have the opportunity to raise this generation for the world that we foresee. I think that's
Hmm.
the difference between millennials and the Xers and the boomers is that we can foresee what this world is getting ready to be, and so we are raising our kids to be able to finesse that world, really.
function in this world, absolutely.
Yeah.
And not function in the way that we function, which is like under somebody else's thumb, but function in a way
Mhm.
that's healthy and helpful for you and your own path. Like
Mhm.
not doing what you're told to do because you're told to do it without thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because if I had known
Sometimes I
better,
wish I go ahead.
I was gonna say if I had known better, I probably wouldn't have. I went to Columbia too, as you know,
Mhm.
but I don't think I would have went there. I, as much as I love that school, and I feel like that was the first time I was around people that I knew. It was like an expensive networking. I don't think I
Mhm.
would have went there had I but known that college is not for everybody. Um,
I agree 100%. I don't know if I wouldn't have went to Columbia. I think that Columbia was a great opportunity for me to see that there are other artistic black people in this damn world.
now
When
that's
I
real.
went to a Catholic school where
Hmm.
it was kind of like that wasn't it. It was more Hispanic and white than anything. And so I didn't see people like me who liked to do the things that I do. I do think that I would have went a different route. Um Maybe at HBCU, realizing how pro black I really am.
I would have took my
Um
ass to Atlanta
yeah,
immediately,
yeah,
which is what I
yeah.
wanted to do, but I didn't because I wanted to go to Spelman.
I
I
did
didn't.
everything opposite of what my mama wanted me to do just because she wanted me to do it. And as an adult,
Mm.
I realized how fucking crazy that sounds and
Mm.
is. And I was just that girl. Like,
Rebellious.
oh, you want me to go to school and be in the hospital field and be in the medical field? I'm gonna go get a degree in radio. Like, oh, that's what you want me to do. I'm gonna
But
go do this. Like,
would you
I
go
don't
back
want to.
and do like be in
Hell
the
no.
medical
I
field?
don't like
Yeah,
people.
I was
I
like, I
don't
don't see that.
like absolutely. But what I would have probably done is like now I do I'm a lash tech on the side,
Mhm.
right? So like that's my part-time job. I probably would have went more towards the esthetician,
Okay.
nail, hair field. Like I would have went
Mhm.
that way. Like I was doing sew-ins in my dorm room for extra money. Like clearly there was something there for me and it just didn't click. But I was too busy trying, like you said, rebel against my mom instead of just focusing on what the hell I wanted to do.
Yeah, and I was too busy trying to just do something because my I have I think three of my cousins have two of them have PhDs or two of them are working on PhDs. One of them has a master's. The other one has a bachelor's, I think she's about to start a master's. So my cousins are all very, and I'm like the black sheep in that way. Not to say that I'm like the
Mhm.
oddball out because I'm everybody's favorite. Uh,
Period. She said what she said.
I said what I said. I was gonna get flagged for that, but I said what I said. But so I just felt so out of place. And again, I was struggling with something I didn't know I was struggling with, and it was hard
Mhm.
too because it was like, oh, Bobby is so smart, this, that, and the other, but she's not performing. So I was getting tagged lazy and all of this, like you're not trying hard enough. So that's who I thought I was, all throughout school and stuff. So I'm just really trying to figure out. I went to Columbia for journalism. Why did I go to Columbia for journalism, girl? I went for film and video, which actually did make sense, but I didn't take it seriously because it was like I didn't really know what I wanted to do. So I was just there spending money, grasping at straws, trying to catch up with this image of the rest of my family. And
Yeah.
so if I could go back, I would go to Atlanta because I think I did need to be around a bunch of black people. That was one thing
And
that
you probably need to be away.
and I did need to be away. I needed to be away. But that was the thing. A lot of my life did not change until I moved to Atlanta. I was 26 years old though.
Yeah. You
I
said
was
by
big
that point,
grown.
goddamn. Yeah. I didn't leave. I stayed on campus. I didn't have to stay on campus. I could have stayed at home low key and saved myself a bunch of money.
But did
But
you have a good time?
I have a 14-year-old to prove how good of a time I had.
You don't have to do that. You don't have to say that. You could have just simply said yes.
Baby, let me tell you something about Columbia though, because I feel like we get this flack for being this artsy school and we have no life and we just do all of this other boring stuff. Baby, we was outside.
Yeah, I was
We
lit.
were
I was lit.
outside between Black Student Union and meeting up with Roosevelt and DePaul. and all the other UIC. We were outside. Okay,
Y'all
just
were
know,
lit.
being an art school ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
I don't know why people think that Columbia was big lit. Like,
Piglet, like
I, I just think when I think of Columbia, I think of like shows like Insecure, and you see like all of these black people just do. That's how I feel about Columbia. It's just like all of these black like artsy people, and yeah, they artsy, they do their thing, but they dope as fuck. Like,
they dope as fuck.
just dope.
Yeah, we were at Columbia during the what's the call? What is the name of the doggone group? The Jerk Boys. Jerk. I'm so cocky. Who made the damn song? But anyway, during
I
that
don't know.
phase, what the fuck their names are? During that phase of just like fashion and art and like black art was lit, and it was a time you had to be
It
there.
really was. It was a time to be. I feel like, and I guess I'm biased because I feel like probably everybody say this, but I feel like we were born at the best time.
We
Like,
were.
grew up in the best time. Like, I wouldn't have wanted to be grown in the 70s. I wouldn't have wanted to be grown in the 80s. Like,
There's nothing about it
I'm
that
cool.
sounds fun. I was just talking to my husband because we was watching BMF, and we were like, I was like, the 90s was wow. Like, I could not picture being an adult in the 90s. Like, it was a crazy time. They were shooting kids, adults. They was lighting up. It was just too much for me. There was absolutely no way I could be an adult in the 90s. As a child in the 90s, I was living my life,
lit.
baby.
It was lit.
It
I
was
had
a
no
good
worries.
time. None.
I had
I
not
was
a
watching
care
all
in the
that.
world. Okay. I was gonna say something, but
watch the documentary. Yes, watch the documentary.
oh man, that just messed up my whole childhood. We was living a life, and
we was.
little did we know the world around us was on fire.
Was on fire, man.
On fire,
well,
but we made it. We survived. We survived.
Nigga, we made it. We really did. But thank you so much for coming on. This was actually a really good conversation. So I really appreciate you. So you should definitely tell the people how they can keep up with Absolutely Raggedy. And how they can just keep up with you as a whole. Because Bobbi is a brand. And y'all need to go ahead and follow her. But tell them how they can.
So you can follow me on Instagram at Absolutely Bobbi. It's Absolutely Bobbi with an I, no underscore or anything like that. And you can follow me on TikTok. I think it's absolutely underscore Bob, B-O-B. And that's it. I do have a podcast that I actually had launched it a long time ago, Absolutely Raggedy. It was great. It was about mental health, and we talked about your toxic traits and things like that. I'm revamping it and rebranding it, so it'll be coming out real soon. And Yaya, you gotta come be a guest. Yes, on my show.
I am.
Absolutely.
And I am.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a blast, honestly.
Absolutely. This was definitely a blast. So thank you for vibing. Thank y'all for vibing with us right here on the Yaya Style N Chats podcast. You already know where y'all can find me. I'm at Yaya Style N Chats. That's the letter N, not the word and. Y'all know how we be. So Yaya Style N Chats on all social media. And you can definitely catch me at YayaStyleNChats.com. Until then, y'all, TTYL.